Biden's military. This is something that we need to talk about right now. The military, and I will say this, look, thank you to everyone who has served. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But the military is not what we once thought. The military has now become a petri dish, a social experiment. It's not about having the most effective military in the world. It's not about having the most prepared people in the world. And of course, when you do that, when you turn it into a social justice experiment, you end up sending unqualified people, largely women, pregnant women now, to their deaths. So don't say that this doesn't come from a place of empathy. Just like you can't say when we're talking about people having the right to bear arms, no, it does come from a place of empathy because I don't want women to get raped. I want to read more headlines that read, woman fights off rapist and attacker with firearm than raped and left in a ditch. Same thing here. I don't want to read more headlines that say pregnant woman who couldn't do a knee tuck or push-ups ends up dead in the battlefield. Okay? They shouldn't be on the battlefield. You can call me sexist. I don't give a rat's. Cancel moment. Hi, take this clip. So, last Friday at the International Summit in Alaska, Chinese diplomats mocked Biden's weak stance against China mercilessly. And of course, I would never side with communist China, but they got some shots in.
I have to tell you, what I'm hearing is very different from what you described. I'm hearing deep satisfaction that the United States is back, that we're re-engaged with our allies and partners.
You know, the Chinese diplomats right now
I'm
are
also
going,
hearing deep
purple hair,
concern
bitch!
about some of the actions your government is taking.
It's hard to take you seriously when you're sitting next to a cabbage patch. Garbage pail, kid, mother.
Well, I think we
What
thought
silly
too
appetizers.
well of the United States. We thought that the U.S. side will follow the necessary diplomatic protocols.
所以我们刚才必须阐明我们的立场。
So for China, it was necessary that we make our position clear.
我现在讲一句，你们没有资格在中国的面前说你们从实力的地位出发同中国谈话。
So let me say here that in front of the Chinese side, the United States does not have the qualification to say that it wants to speak to China from a position of strength.
Yeah. From a position of strength. Strength. That was the word. Well, we couldn't find the clip because it got cut off because it was pretty embarrassing. Just like the guy's balls. Oh! You're saying we're not strong? I'm saying pound for pound, you are a pussy boy. So, we need not worry, though, because former Vice President Joe Biden, he knows that national security is not achieved through strength.
No.
It's not what the military is about.
Never.
You guys are all concerned about power and strength and efficiency. It's achieved through diversity.
They're using their voices and actively working to change policies in the military to make it easier and safer for more women, not just to join the military, but to stay in the military and to thrive. I'm incredibly proud that in 2015, under the Obama-Biden administration, we took the final steps to open up all positions in the military to anyone qualified to serve in them.
What if they're not
Women who join
qualified?
today's military aren't told no.
They should be told no. I don't know when the military. I don't know when the military became an all-inclusive. This isn't sandals. Right. They should be told no. If they said more people who qualify, what if they don't qualify? We'll reduce the qualifications. What if they still don't qualify? Then we'll just reduce all qualifications, and the Chinese will laugh at us. Okay, while that's really what we're going to do. So let's look at a couple of things here before we get to women. Sorry, women. Are you saying that women are weaker than men physically? Yes, you're weaker than men. Period. Okay, you shouldn't be in the military if you're pregnant. I don't understand why we're talking about this, but one of the executive orders that was issued by Joe Biden, former Vice President Joe Biden, free transgender surgery in the military, reversing an Obama-era policy. That's nice. That's nice. That's a priority right now. Imagine that in Pearl Harbor when that's the thing, people were holed up there in their hospital beds. How many people would have been able to run out to their fighter jet? Well, back then they weren't jets. Been able to run out to their, what did they use? Not biplanes. It was between biplanes and fighter jets, but they couldn't lest they hurt the sutures in their groin. All right, hold on. I got to waddle out there. So this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing right now.
Come on, everybody.
They want everybody, which explains, by the way, Hollywood, yet another remake, taking their chances with redo of Missing in Action. And that seems, you know what? I don't know how else you expect
That's missing.
To go. And this is one thing. Me saying this, and by the way, the best thing you can do right now while you're watching this show is just comment. Just leave a comment what you think about women in the military and what you think not only about women in the military, because everyone agreed, well, women in the military, officers, women in the military, anything that involves intellectual capacity, because women are just as organizational capacity. Sure. And you know what? Even pilots, provided they aren't with child. But I'm about to say a phrase that you, on its face, would think is a sketch, would think it's a bit. It's not. Biden, let me just read this verbatim from this article.
A little slow. So
Biden also announced the priority of special maternity fighter pilot suits for pregnant women.
Where we're making good progress designing body armor that fits women properly, tailoring combat uniforms for women, creating maternity flight suits, and updating requirements for their hairstyles.
Toss some spandex on their fatigues and call it a day. This is remarkable to me. Hey, look, when we're a society where the military is no longer about protecting women and children, and do we really need
How
another?
many G's can that baby take?
Do we really need another no-bid military contract for maternity suits? Like, just have a bidding war between Talbots and whoever. I don't know whatever else is Talbots. But the point is, you know what women shouldn't be able to do when they're pregnant? Fly! Fly! Okay? It's not Peter Pan. You think of happy thoughts, you can still die. Just to be clear, it's safest for pregnant women to fly only between 3 and 6 months. I know because I have a wife pregnant with twins, and they said don't fly. Not the first trimester, not the last trimester. And unless you're with twins, guess what? You probably don't need another suit. You just need to leave a little bit of room for the belly. Also, that baby is going to be mashed potatoes at that point. It is disgusting. We shouldn't be sending, you know what, women handle G-force better. Really? What about the 6-month-old? Do you have any idea? That's the scariest ride in the world while that woman's out there reenacting Tora, Tora, Tora. I can't believe that we are now saying the military is not about being as effective as possible, because at one point our goal was to protect women and children. Why? Because we love them. Why? Because they make babies. Why? Because men are fine being leather-necked, rough. They'd be doing this out there deer hunting on that weekend anyway. They don't give a rat's ass. Switch the deer out with a terrorist and switch that hunting rifle with an M16, not AR-15, lest you're an idiot, right? That's what I want. Those are the people that I want in the military. Also, the people in the military who I want, people who are able to do basic push-ups. Not knee push-ups, push-ups. How about that before we start talking about Joe Biden just likes to spend money? Oh, yeah, maternity flight suits. Are you out of your mind? You know what happened to Goose? What do you think is going to happen to Mother Goose?
Well, I think we are denying the super soldier depending on her mood.
Yes.
I mean, we could really take out the trash.
They don't need to give him methamphetamine like the Japanese kamikaze
No, they don't.
pilots.
Like, she killed everybody, even in her own platoon.
They get that extra mother adrenaline. And
How did
like
she
the
do
original
that?
Bane.
Well, I called her through her headset and I said, remember those Cadbury eggs that I was saving for you? I got hungry at night and ate them.
She said her ankles hurt, and I suggested larger boots because they might be swelling.
Yeah.
She murdered 9 Asian men.
And she's headed for the White House, so you guys might
Gotta
want to
watch
get
out.
him in those canals.
Oh my gosh.
Turn
You know what
into a
else pregnant
flying
women can't
squirrel.
do? First off, the first thing to tell you is right. Don't now they even say, well, you can have a glass of wine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
You can have a cup of coffee, but avoid stress.
Right.
Do you think a dog fight in the sky might qualify? Especially because you know what else women can't do? Pregnant women, they can't ride roller coasters. They can't get in hot tubs. But we're going to put them in a fighter jet? I'm sorry. It's not sexist to not want pregnant women to die in the military. Here's something else, too. 65% of women have been failing the new equal gender-neutral fitness test versus just 10% of men. This is important to note. This is a new gender-neutral fitness test. What does that mean? We've made it easier because women weren't passing the other tests. So now it's you don't have to do other things that were hard, like pull-ups and stuff like that. So we're going to make it really easy where you do like a knee tuck. But guess what? Women are underperforming in the knee tuck. 1.9 women for every 8.3 men pass.
Oh, man.
So the military provided another option. Do you know what it is?
What?
You know what it is? It is the shameful, red-headed stepchild of the planking, which is the stupidest thing in the world, again, because
Pretty
you should
difficult.
do push-ups. When you're doing a push-up, guess what? You're always planking. But we're going to remove that from the equation and just sit there. So now they allow women to, because they have to get up in their maternity flight suits. So otherwise, well, how could you, you're a patriarchy. So let's make sure we lower the standards so that women with child can get up there in an F-16, I don't know what the plane is, F-16, F-15, I don't know, Apache, whatever it is, whatever the hell it is. Let's make sure they can get up there. So let's remove the knee tuck and let's just have them do an internet knee.
They can just balance on the belly.
That's not even as hard as the ice bucket challenge. So now women can go out into the front of combat with planking.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.